A picture-perfect romance, a Hollywood power couple, and a love story that seemed straight out of a fairy tale beamed onto our screens and into our hearts. For years, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom were the golden couple everyone adored, a vibrant, quirky, and undeniably beautiful pair who seemed to have it all. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling, the red carpet is rolled up, and the curated smiles fade into the harsh reality of everyday life? Behind the glamorous photos and the public declarations of love, a far more complicated and painful story was unfolding in the shadows. Now, with the release of one shocking, brutally honest new song, Katy Perry is tearing back the gilded curtain, exposing the raw, aching truth of what really went wrong. And the details revealed in her musical confession are more heartbreaking and far more insidious than anyone could have ever imagined. To truly grasp the magnitude of this collapse, we have to rewind to the very beginning, to the moment the fairy tale was born. It was January 2016, a glittering Golden Globes after-party, an environment practically designed for Hollywood magic. Reports from that night described an instant magnetic pull between them. Orlando, the dashing movie star, and Katy, the vibrant pop queen. The connection was immediate and undeniable. In the weeks that followed, they were inseparable, moving from a Stella McCartney fashion show to quiet backstage moments and even intimate family gatherings with his son, Flynn. By the spring, it was official. They were an item, and the world was captivated. They embarked on a whirlwind romance filled with lavish vacations, playful paparazzi moments, and a public affection that felt genuine and electric. They were the couple you wanted to be, a perfect blend of Hollywood glamour and down-to-earth charm. This was the image they sold the world, an image of unbreakable joy. But every peak has a valley, and the foundation of their love story was, it seems, riddled with fault lines from the very start. Even before this final, shocking breakup, their path was never smooth. Many forget that they dramatically split once before, back in 2017. At the time, they released a joint statement about respectfully taking loving space, a classic piece of Hollywood PR spin designed to soften the blow. When they reconciled, it seemed like a triumph, proof that their love was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. Katy herself later gave a glimpse into their dynamic, a glimpse that now seems hauntingly prophetic. In a 2024 interview, she confessed, "Orlando and I, when we argue kinda hot and fast and then cool really quickly. At the time, it sounded passionate, exciting even. But in hindsight, it paints a picture of volatility, a constant cycle of conflict and resolution that must have been utterly exhausting. It suggests a relationship built not on stability, but on a series of repairs. And as we now know, you can only patch a sinking ship so many times before the water comes rushing in for good." That brings us to the present, and to the shattering opening scene of her new music video for Bandaids. This isn't a glossy pop video. It's a raw cinematic punch to the gut. The video begins not on a stage, but in the mundane setting of a kitchen, a place of domesticity that has clearly turned sour. As Katy washes dishes, her face a mask of quiet despair, a stunning diamond ring, one that looks identical to her engagement ring from Orlando, slips from her soapy finger. It plunges, almost in slow motion, down the dark, unforgiving abyss of the sink drain. It's a powerful, gut-wrenching symbol for a love lost, a promise literally thrown away. But she doesn't just let it go. She desperately shoves her hand into the mechanical teeth of the garbage disposal to retrieve it, a visceral metaphor for the pain she was willing to endure to save what was already gone. As the blades threaten to mangle her hand, the music swells, and her voice cuts through, wounded and raw. "Hand to God, I promise I tried," she sings. This single, desperate act was just the opening wound in a story of slow, painful decay, a visual representation of the devastating words she was about to unleash on the world. And what devastating words they are. Katy's new lyrics don't point to a single explosive betrayal or a dramatic final fight. Instead, she reveals something far more insidious, a quiet, creeping neglect that hollowed out their relationship from the inside until nothing was left but a beautiful, empty shell. The most revealing line is a dagger to the heart of anyone who has ever felt unseen by the person sleeping next to them. It's not what you did, it's what you didn't. You were there, but you weren't. This single lyric exposes a profound loneliness, the kind of soul-crushing isolation you can only feel when you're with someone who is physically present, but emotionally a million miles away. It speaks to a deep, painful disconnect, a failure to show up in the small daily ways that truly matter. Reports now suggest it wasn't a huge scandal that broke them, but this slow, creeping emotional distance. 1,000 tiny paper cuts that eventually left her bleeding out. The song continues to peel back the layers of this neglect, each lyric a new confession of her hidden pain. "Got so used to you letting me down? No use trying to send flowers now," she sings, exposing a painful cycle of disappointment and empty gestures. It paints a picture of a relationship where apologies, if they came at all, were too little, too late. Then comes the heartbreaking admission of her own denial, a feeling so many can relate to. "Telling myself you'll change. You don't." It's the sound of a woman clinging to a fantasy, hoping that the man she fell in love with would reappear, only to be confronted with the same painful reality over and over again. This wasn't a partnership anymore. It was a lonely vigil, waiting for a change that was never going to come. And while Katy was apparently trapped in this cycle of false hope, the internet has begun to wildly speculate about what was happening on Orlando's side of this silent war. While the song is Katy's story, it forces us to look at her partner in a new light. Orlando Bloom has always cultivated an image of a laid-back, spiritual, almost bohemian movie star. He's seen as the cool, adventurous dad, the charming Brit who doesn't take life too seriously. But Katy's lyrics suggest that this relaxed attitude may have translated into a lack of effort within the relationship. Fans have been quick to point out that during the last year, Orlando was frequently seen on solo trips or with friends, his social media filled with adventures that didn't seem to include his fiancée. Rumors, though completely unverified, have begun to surface, with some online forums suggesting that his focus was elsewhere, perhaps on his career or his own personal freedom. Was he taking their relationship for granted? Did he believe that the hot and fast makeups would always be there to fix the hot and fast fights? We don't have his side of the story, but Katy's song has painted a portrait of a man who was emotionally absent, leaving her to carry the entire weight of their love on her own. But even the powerful, primal love for a child can't be the only glue holding a broken partnership together. The final verses of Bandaids describe the harrowing last moments of the relationship, and it's here that Katy's pain is most palpable. "It's not that complicated to ask me how my day is," she sings, the simplicity of the request highlighting the profound depth of the neglect she felt. It reveals a stunning lack of basic care and curiosity, the very bedrock of any loving partnership. Her voice cracks with emotion as she delivers the final, devastating diagnosis of their love. "I'm flatlining trying to save this. Bleeding out. Bleeding out. Bleeding out slow." The imagery is brutal and medically precise. She was performing CPR on a love that was already gone, desperately trying to resuscitate a heart that was flatlining right in front of her. It's a portrait of extreme emotional isolation, of a woman giving everything she had to a battle she was destined to lose, leaving her completely and utterly drained. In the end, Katy Perry's Bandaids is so much more than a simple breakup anthem. It's a raw, unfiltered, and courageous post-mortem of a great love story that lost its way. It's a confession, a final desperate cry, and ultimately, a powerful declaration of survival. By putting her pain into her art, she has reclaimed her own narrative, refusing to be silent or let her story be told through anonymous sources and tabloid headlines. But it leaves us with more questions than answers. Is this truly the final chapter for Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom? Or just another dramatic pause in their famously turbulent romance? With a child connecting them forever, the door between them may never be fully closed. But one thing is absolutely certain. The fairy tale as we knew it is over. The painful, complicated, and deeply human truth is finally stepping into the light. What do you believe is the real reason they couldn't make it work? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe for more shocking revelations from the world of Hollywood.